Hello, I'm Alpha66 and this is going to be quite a retro video. Did I just say retro? Might become a series of some description. Upon Man City just being fun to see beaten, let's take a look back at the 2013 FA Cup final. The one where Man City embarrassingly lost to a Wigan Athletic team who were getting relegated from the Premier League. My original idea was to have a look at another embarrassing City loss in the FA Cup final, the Palace game from a few months ago. Except I soon realised that would be stupid because the only player from that starting 11 that's left Palace is Eze. So yes, that video would have been more pointless than going to a bar without a wallet. So instead, let's go back 12 years and have a look at the starting 11 for Wigan that afternoon and see what they've all done since then and where they are now. And before you get annoyed, the match winner Ben Watson started this game on the bench, so he doesn't make the video. Right, let's go. Joel Robles. This man kept Ali Al-Habsi out the team for this game. Joel will be familiar to both Everton and Leeds fans, but this was a 23-year-old Joel on a 6-month loan spell at Wigan from Atletico Madrid. He kept a clean sheet during this game, stopping both Tevez and Aguero from scoring. The following summer he signed for Everton permanently, spent 5 years at Goodison Park, only played 65 games, and he's since played for Real Betis, Leeds United, Al Qadsiya in Qatar, and he's now at Estoril in Portugal, playing for a mid-table Primera Liga side. Sounds bad, but remember this is Wigan Athletic, and this is Man City. But more on that matchup later. Emerson Boyce, a Wigan veteran. He was the man who captained the side to the Cup, a Barbadian international from Aylesbury. He joined Wigan in 2006 after relegation from the Prem with Crystal Palace, spent 9 years with the Latics, playing just under 300 games, and scoring 13 goals from right back, a Wigan legend. He spent a year at Blackpool after leaving in 2016, and now at the age of 46, he's just stepped down as the manager of Wigan Women. Not bad. Paul Sharner, another 6-month loan signing. This one was Sharner's second spell with the Latics, having joined them from SK Brann in 2006, staying until 2010 before leaving for West Brom. He then returned to Wigan at the age of 33 in 2013, and after this played 2 more professional games before retiring, including the 4-1 defeat to Arsenal that got the Latics relegated from the Premier League the same year, and overall just makes Wigan's 12-13 season look so weird. So yeah, Sharner wasn't exactly a star defender, but 40 caps for Austria and 221 Premier League appearances, the most of any Austrian player ever, so maybe he's a little bit more respected back in his homeland. Antolin Alcaraz. This guy was probably lucky to have made the squad for this game. Having missed the majority of the 12-13 season due to a groin injury, Alcaraz recovered just in time for the FA Cup final. He joined Joe on the bus to Goodison Park the following summer, and after 2 years there left for Las Palmas. And then after a year with them, he moved back to his native Paraguay, playing for Libertad and Olimpia. Roger Espinoza. This man is most famous amongst the fan base of Sporting Kansas City. How incredibly notable. Espinoza signed for Wigan in January 2013, then in January 2015 headed straight back to Kansas where he had signed for them, and then after 8 more years with them, he retired and he's now their assistant coach. So basically what I'm saying is that this man probably gets asked for less selfies than Sabrina Carpenter's cousin. James McCarthy, a Premier League veteran, and the third player that signed for Everton a couple months after this happened. I mean, the manager Roberto Martinez made the same move, so I guess it makes sense that Martinez moved to Everton and then signed half of his Wigan squad. McCarthy spent 4 years at Wigan before his move to Goodison. He spent 6 years there, unfortunately suffered a double leg break in January 2018, and then missed an entire year of football, left for Crystal Palace in 2019, and then left them for local club Celtic in 2021. He retired in 2024 with 272 Premier League appearances to his name, and 40 Ireland caps, despite being as Glaswegian as they come. James McArthur. No, you haven't accidentally skipped back in the video. James McCarthy was playing alongside James McArthur in the midfield for Wigan in this match. These guys were too similar to be separate people. Both of them were born in Glasgow and both played for Hamilton, Wigan and Crystal Palace over their careers, so cloning does exist. Anyway, this Scottish James lasted 5 years with the Latics before leaving for Crystal Palace in 2014. He spent 9 years in South London, I would say that's quite dangerous, before retiring in 2023. As you can see, not a lot of these lads fancied playing alongside Scott Carson and Stephen Craney in the Championship. I think they might have forgotten about the Europa League bonus. Jordi Gomez. Being a Spanish midfielder in the 2010s must have been awful. An era where Spain won 2 European Championships, either side of lifting a World Cup. Cesc Fabregas, a world-class midfielder, was struggling to get a start, so is it any surprise that Jordi Gomez's only taste of international football was 1 cap for the Spain under-17 team all the way back in 2001? No, not at all. This was a pretty average midfielder. He's been around the block in England, first joining Wigan in 2009 after a loan spell at Champions Championship Swansea. He left for Sunderland in 2014, didn't do much on Wearside, before returning to Wigan for half a season, and then Rayo Vallecano, Bulgarian side Levski Sofia, and then 2 clubs in the depths of Cyprus. No thriller here, but he could whack in a penalty or 2. He scored one the following year that could have got them to another FA Cup final, had Arsenal not equalised and beat them on penalties. Callum McManaman. Like Boyce, Callum McManaman is widely considered to be a Wigan hero, and what makes it better is that he came straight out of their youth setup. He went on to spend 6 years in the senior team, winning man of the match in the FA Cup final against Man City, and establishing himself as a great at the club. Then comes the journey. He moved to West Brom in 2015, Sunderland in 2017, back to Wigan in 2018, to Luton in 2019, Melbourne Victory in Australia in 2020, Tranmere Rovers in 2021, before finally settling back down at Wigan in 2023. He's finally sat back down in football because he's a fan favourite at Wigan anyway. Or was it just so his wife could take a breather? Jesus Christ. Aruna Kone. Aruna Kone was one of those footballers that just looked like he should be working in Burger King, rather than beating a team full of superstars in an FA Cup final. In all fairness to Kone, he was a decent striker for the likes of Sevilla and Wigan after he moved to them, scoring 11 Premier League goals for the Latics as they went down, and in 2013, you guessed it, he signed for Everton. Probably the worst player of the 4 that made that move. In 4 years, scoring 10 goals in 61 games, before leaving for Turkish side Sivasspor in 2017. I mean, Everton have always had issues with strikers. They just constantly fail for no reason. At least he wasn't Cenk Tosun or Sandro Ramirez levels at Goodison Park. Sean Maloney, a decent player who alongside Wigan played for Aston Villa and Hull while in England, in between spells at Celtic and Chicago Fire. Maloney was a key player for Wigan when he joined them in 2011. He then left for the MLS in 2015, then returned to England with Hull for 2 years, and then retiring after that. However, he has returned to Wigan since. In January 2023, with Wigan bottom of the Championship, he joined them as manager, and he couldn't save them from the drop to League One. He was then sacked in 2024 after finishing 12th with an 8-point deduction. Sounds mildly unfair. As for Wigan themselves, they've not been in the Premier League since they went down in 2013, and now in League One, and they're just constantly mid-table there. But as for Man City, they have been beaten by Wigan since. January 2018, with Man City hoping for a quadruple of trophies, they lost 1-0 to the Latics in the 5th round of the FA Cup. This was a Man City team 16 points clear at the top of the Premier League, coming up against a Wigan team that were only just squeaking their way above Blackburn at the top of League One. I personally have a soft spot for Wigan, because watching as a neutral, they've had some special moments in the Premier League, and because of this FA Cup final. Embarrassing for City, astonishing for Wigan. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Do you want to see more of these classic 11 videos? Let me know what teams I should cover next. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and I'll see you in the next video.